Some movies entertain you, some movies scare you, and then there are movies that trap you. Films that move so fast, build so much pressure, and create so much psychological tension that you don't even realize you've been holding your breath. Your heart rate goes up, your thoughts start racing, and for 2 hours, you're not watching a story anymore. You're surviving it. In this video, we're exploring 10 films that never slow down, movies that feel less like cinema and more like a panic attack. If you're looking for comfort, this is not the list, but if you want intensity, you're in the right place. Let's start. 1. Good Time, 2017. The film starts with a bank robbery that quickly falls apart. Connie escapes, but his younger brother Nick is arrested. From that moment, the story unfolds over a single night as Connie searches for a way to get him out. Each decision only makes things worse. The tension grows not just from the danger around him, but from the feeling that he's running out of time and options. The Safdie brothers keep the camera close to Connie, creating a restless, claustrophobic energy. Neon lights, chaotic movement, and pulsing music turn the city into a constant pressure cooker. Robert Pattinson's performance sits at the center of it all. Connie isn't heroic or even likable, but Pattinson gives him a restless energy that pulls you forward anyway. It marked a turning point in his career, showing how far he could move beyond his earlier roles. The result feels less like a crime story and more like being carried forward by momentum you can't stop. 2. Uncut Gems, 2019. Howard Ratner is a New York jeweler constantly chasing the next big win. When he gets his hands on a rare opal, he sees a chance to solve all his financial problems at once. Instead, it pulls him deeper into debt, danger, and a chain of increasingly risky decisions. The film moves with relentless urgency. Conversations overlap, phones keep ringing, people are always demanding something. There's almost no moment of quiet, and that constant noise creates a pressure that keeps building scene after scene. The Safdie brothers again place the audience inside the protagonist's mindset. Howard isn't just desperate, he's addicted to risk, pushing forward even when stopping would be safer. Uncut Gems becomes less about whether he will succeed and more about how far he's willing to go before everything collapses. 3. Climax, 2018. The film takes place during a rehearsal party for a group of dancers in an isolated building. The energy is high at first, music, movement, celebration, but something is wrong. As the night progresses, the mood shifts from excitement to unease, and then into full panic. Gaspar Noé builds the film around long, drifting camera movements that move through the space like a presence. The choreography gradually turns into disorientation, and the characters begin losing control one by one. Color and sound play a central role. Pulsing electronic music and intense red lighting create a sensory overload that mirrors the character's mental state. The environment itself starts to feel unstable. Climax unfolds less like a narrative and more like a collective breakdown happening in real time, a descent where the audience loses its bearings along with the characters. 4. The Raid, 2011. The story takes place inside a massive apartment complex controlled by a crime syndicate. A SWAT team is sent in to reach the top floor and arrest the gang's leader, but the operation fails almost immediately. Their presence is exposed, exits are blocked, and the officers become trapped inside the building. Every floor turns into a confrontation. Gunfire, ambushes, and close-quarters combat force the team to fight their way upward with no clear escape. Director Gareth Evans builds the tension through physical intensity rather than plot complexity. The fights are shot with clarity and precision, allowing the movement and impact to remain visible, which makes the danger feel immediate. The Raid becomes a continuous ascent through violence, a film where momentum never stops long enough to breathe. 5. Boiling Point, 2021. A single night inside a crowded London restaurant turns into a pressure cooker for head chef Andy as staff conflicts, demanding customers, and financial problems begin colliding at the same time. Shot in one continuous take, the camera moves between the kitchen and dining room without interruption, capturing how quickly control starts to slip as the situation escalates. Stephen Graham delivers a restrained, exhausting performance. A man trying to maintain authority while everything around him begins to fracture. Boiling Point unfolds as a chain reaction of stress, where the pressure keeps rising and there's no moment to reset. 6. Victoria, 2015. A young woman meets a group of strangers outside a Berlin nightclub, and what begins as a spontaneous night out quickly turns into something far more dangerous. As the group moves through the city, small decisions begin stacking on top of each other, pulling Victoria into a situation she never planned to be part of. Shot in a single continuous take, the camera follows the characters across streets, rooftops, and interiors without interruption, creating the sense that events are unfolding in real time. Laia Costa carries the film with a performance that shifts from curiosity to fear to desperation, grounding the escalating chaos in something emotionally believable. Victoria becomes a night defined by a momentum. Once events start moving, there's no clear way back. 7. Snowpiercer, 2013. In a frozen future where Earth has become uninhabitable, the last remnants of humanity survive aboard a constantly moving train. Passengers are divided by class, with the poorest confined to the rear cars under harsh conditions. When a rebellion begins, a group led by Curtis starts moving forward through the train, car by car, toward the engine. Each section reveals a different environment, new obstacles, and escalating danger. Director Bong Joon-ho structures the film around physical progression. Movement through space becomes the source of tension, as every advance brings both opportunity and risk. Snowpiercer unfolds as a continuous push forward, a journey where stopping means losing momentum, and reaching the front may not bring the answers expected. 8. Haine, 1995. Over the course of a single day in the suburbs of Paris, 3 young men navigate the aftermath of a violent clash between police and local residents. Tension is already present from the beginning, and it continues building as they move through the city. Encounters with authority, strangers, and each other gradually increase the sense that something is about to erupt. The film isn't driven by action, but by anticipation. Director Matthew Kassovitz uses stark, black-and-white cinematography and real locations to create a grounded atmosphere, keeping the focus on the characters and their environment. Haine builds through accumulated pressure, where emotional stakes rise until the situation can no longer hold. 9. After Hours, 1985. One night in New York spirals out of control for Paul, an office worker who only wants to get home after an awkward date. Every attempt to leave the neighborhood leads to another complication. Strange encounters, misunderstandings, and situations that become increasingly unpredictable. Martin Scorsese builds tension through pacing and momentum, turning coincidence and dark humor into a constant sense of instability. After Hours becomes a chain of escalating misfortune, where the night keeps pushing forward and nothing resets. 10. Shiva Baby, 2020. A college student attends a family Shiva with her parents, expecting an uncomfortable afternoon. Instead, she finds herself surrounded by relatives, social pressure, her ex-girlfriend, and a man she has been secretly involved with, all in the same crowded house. As conversations overlap and questions become more personal, the situation grows increasingly tense. Small interactions begin stacking on top of each other, creating a constant sense of anxiety. Director Emma Seligman uses tight framing and close proximity to emphasize the lack of personal space, turning ordinary social situations into psychological pressure. Shiva Baby unfolds as escalating discomfort, where the environment keeps closing in and there's no easy way to escape. Some films slow down so you can breathe. These don't. They build pressure, momentum, and tension until stopping is no longer an option, for the characters or for you. And when they end, the feeling doesn't disappear right away. It lingers. Thank you for watching.